皆さん、こんにちは。
Hello, 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 hello. Hiya, friends. Good time zones. Good Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well. Let's go over here. Oh, I'm looking very red. Why am I looking very red? Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because I've got the Nintendo Direct from the stream. The live stream from earlier today. That's why I'm looking very red. Oh god, that's like, where's that red light coming from? But it's coming from my other monitor. I'm so silly. But yeah, how is everybody? Hope you're all doing great. Today there's going to be a few things happening. One is we're going to play Little Mouse's Encyclopedia, which is all about a game, which is all about a mouse going around different habitats and discovering all the wildlife that it can and photographing them and documenting them, and it's really cutesy, and I hope we'll really enjoy it. It's not a very long game, so maybe we'll be able to do some other stuff as well around that. But yeah, we're gonna play that, and I've been told it only actually takes about half an hour to play, and knowing how much I play, it might take an hour, so maybe that'll take us to 9, or maybe even 9:30, but I'm expecting it'll take us to 9. But we're going to watch the Nintendo Direct a little bit. Not the Nintendo Direct, the Zelda presentation of the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay for a little bit. And we'll dive into that, and then maybe we'll play some... I forget what it's called. Wandering Village. Maybe we'll play some of that. And see how far we can get on that. So that's going to be the plan for today. and we're gonna just chill and vibe. And I'm really enjoying the vibes of this music. This is a new playlist, and it's kind of nature sounds. So I'm hoping it's not going to be copyrighted, because I'd kind of really like to use this again, because I feel like it's a really good opener, because I'm really kind of enjoying the calm vibes of this this playlist on Spotify. So I'd really like to be able to use it again. This little, there we go, it's kind of out of the way. No, oh, now this one's here. They're annoying me. Get out of the way. Oh, bloody hell. Hang on. I'll just try and ignore it. But yeah, so that's gonna be, no, I can't ignore it. And now I've messed it up even more. Bloody hell. There we go, it's kind of out of the way there. I'm so silly. Right, so that's going to be the vibes for today's stream. Just chill vibes and Zelda and nature and little mice running around the garden, seeing what animals and things they can identify. So if that's your vibe, you're welcome to come and stay. Or if you'd rather get something else done, you can have me in the background, or whatever you feel you choose, whatever you feel is best. But yeah. So this is also the warning. I know I put it in the Discord and I put it on Twitter that I'm gonna be covering the Tears of the Kingdom gameplay trailer they released today. I'm gonna talk through that, and we're gonna go through that a little bit. I did watch it earlier as well, so I know what it's gone through, but I'd like to really theorize and kind of dig into it a little bit with all of you. And so that's what's gonna happen for a little bit. And so if you'd like to avoid spoilers, you know, this is your warning now to kind of head on out or lurk and come back in about half an hour. That's the max time it's gonna take for us to discuss it. I think I've left about half an hour, 25 minutes, half an hour for us to talk about it. So hope you're all ready and prompt and perked up for that. And yeah, hope you've all been having a good time of it. Anyway. So I'll kind of do a watch through, and we'll kind of pick up some stuff about it. So let's see what we got. The legend himself. It's been a whole year since we've seen this guy. I was so happy when I heard this. It's like, yes, it's finally done.
これまでにこのゲームを楽しみにしてくれている皆さんにはいくつかの映像をご覧いただいてきました。今回はほんの少しではありますが、実際に私がプレイしながらこのゲームがどんなゲームなのかを皆さんにお届けしたいと思います。それでは早速やっていきましょう。
Let's begin.
はい、まずは
So obviously we've still got horses, which is cool. I'm glad we've still got that in.
広い大地は健在です。もちろんね、そのままということではなくて、いろんな変化が起きてるんですけれども、今日それについてですね、お話ししてると、
So obviously it's not going to be the same world as they say. We've got lots of different stuff to explore. I'm curious, what is this? What is this? I've actually only just noticed that. This little L button. There doesn't seem to be an R button. Obviously we've got the weather. We've got the weather thing down in the corner. We've got the sound, we've got the temperature thing, we've got the map. So it's shield, food, kind of the usual stuff. I'm guessing down is going to be the whistle. I'm curious what this L button is. Maybe that's accessing our new abilities, because that was how you accessed the magnesis and stuff in Breath of the Wild. So maybe that's what that is. is accessing our new abilities.
そしてね、今作
Also,
では
Link
こ
is
の広
looking
大なフィールド
epic
が
in
なんと
this. I love this outfit.
空の上にまで広がります。ね、空の上の方に島が見えてると思うんです
So here we've got one of these
空島
spiral
っていう
things
ふうに
as
言わ
well.
れてますけれどもね。でもね、こんなね、高いとこ
Oh,
ろにあ
oh,
る
oh,
島
oh,
に
oh,
どうやって
pause,
行くん
pause,
だ
pause, pause. Hang on. Going back a little bit. Because I've seen a few people talk about this
空
as
島
well.
っていうふうに呼んでますけれどもね。でもね、
This little guy here is a Korok. Is a Korok with a backpack. And I've seen so many people saying like, "Oh, it's a Korok with a backpack." So obviously, you know, they're taking the Korok seeds around Hyrule to spread them all 900 Korok seeds to spread them around for us again. But it's cute that we might even see Koroks walking around Hyrule, which will be kind of cool. So stable, obviously, you know, nothing too much
どうやって行くんだって
different
皆
about
さん
that.
気になってると思うんですが、こうやって見てると、お、なんか上から落ちてきましたね。見えますか？あれは一体何でしょうかね。ちょっと向かってみましょう。はい、さっき落ちてきたもののところまでもう少しという感じですかね。はいはいはい。
So we've seen this kind of a bit before,
ここでですね、リングの新しい力を使い
which
ま
is
す。
one of the new
降ってき
abilities,
たこの岩にこうする。
which is like reverse stasis almost.
はい、登っていきますね。これはね、物の動きを逆再生できるモドレコっていう。
I'm still curious what that is. That
降って
little
きた岩を
spiral
逆再
thing.
生しているので空に登っていけるというわけなんですね。ほら、空島見えてきました。
And so here they show
はい、
some of
パ
the
ラセ
sky
ールで空島に
islands.
向かいましょう。他にも
Which
ね
these buildings
空島
look
が
quite cool.
いくつか浮いてますね。ということで空島到着です。空島に上がる方法は他に
We've
も
got the
たくさんある
dragon,
ん
the
ですけれ
zone
ども
eye structures
それは
here.
皆さんで探してみてください。
Oh, I also we see a dragon.
空島がいくつか浮いてますね。ということで空島到着です。
Here we see a dragon, and then the next line is there are lots of ways to reach the Sky Islands, so we hope you'll find a few different methods. I wonder what other methods there are going to be. And I saw someone else point out on Twitter that he says that as the dragon is flying past. It's like, do we get to ride the dragons? Because that's going to be sick. I don't think we're going to be able to ride the dragons. I don't think that's going to happen. But that would be so cool. Just imagine if we could actually ride the dragons. That'd be pretty cool. So we see a tower thing here that looks kind of like the Sheikah Towers, but a little bit different. So I wonder what that is. Wonder what these kind of light things are here. That looks like a malice pool or something. But very clearly, I think these structures are going to be Zonai structures. So that makes me think the sky is incredibly linked to these Zonai structures. And there's another thing that makes me think that as well. Aside from this, aside from the other trailers, makes me wonder.
上がる方法は他にもたくさんあるんですけれども、それは皆さんで探してみてください。
Oh, and whoa,
はい、
whoa, whoa,
も
whoa,
う少し
whoa!
大きい
I didn't notice that before when I was watching it because I was only watching it on my little
で
mobile
空島到着
screen
です。
earlier.
空島に上がる方法は他にもたくさんあるんですけれども、それは皆さんで探してみてください。
Here, this is like a thunderstorm thing, and I think we've kind of seen that or like hypothesized that in other trailers that there's going to be like disturbances throughout Hyrule. But I wonder if this is going to be a trial or a challenge or something, kind of like Thyflo Ruins was. I wonder if there's going to be something like that, or maybe this is part of the story that Ganon is kind of causing these thunderstorms and these occurrences. We still don't know why all of these sky islands are floating either. But hey, I do wonder This is interesting, so I didn't notice that before.
はい、もう少し大きい空島に移動してきました。空島にもですね、地上と同じようにもうちょっと人工物的な
This structure is very interesting. This structure here. I wonder what that's going to be. Like whether that's going to be like a coliseum or something. It kind of, I feel like this might be similar to Skyloft because this kind of looks, where this thing is, it kind of looks like a similar layout to Skyloft from what I've seen in the other trailers. And this structure looks like it might have been where the goddess statue was. So I'm kind of curious about that. I'm very curious about this structure here. What that's going to be.
ものがあったり、木も生えてたりしてね、ちょっと黄色い木で、これあんまり地上では見なかったりする木ですね。ちょっと歩いてってみましょう。よっと。はい、枝が落ちてますね。こういうのはね、どんどん取っていきましょう。
Just a closer look. This looks kind of like the Master Sword. A little bit. Now we're getting a closer look at it. I wonder. I'm really curious. What is this? What is this about? It's bizarre. So maybe L is something to do with actually... I don't know, maybe because we know the Master Sword is broken, so maybe it's something to do with charging its powers or its ability or something. And I'm not seeing anybody talking about what this is. So I am indeed curious. This is beautiful, by the way. I love all of this, these colours. Right here. So we see on this, it's got the little symbol here on its chest. And they called this a construct. Which makes me think this little thing is something that was constructed by the Zonai. And then it says the Zonai charge here. So it makes me think that that's a Zonai structure, which makes me think the other things that we encounter on the Sky Islands are also Zonai enemies, Zonai created enemies. I still have no fucking clue what the Zonai are, but this is cool. I really love this idea. I really love this idea of like creating weapons with this fusibility. It's so cool. And you can like increase the durability of it. It just seems so fun and so creative. Like all the things you can kind of combine with it. And so what can you do with this fusibility? What can you make? What can you combine? It's just so creative. And so now you've got like an extra long pitchfork. So I like to keep my distance from enemies while I learn their movements. So this is going to be so handy for me to like get them while I learn what they do and what they are. And I love this whole idea of like fusing arrows. So obviously we won't have ice arrows, fire arrows, thunder arrows anymore. But we'll have to combine them with things to make ice arrows or lightning arrows or whatever. So that's interesting. That's a new interesting design and mechanic. And I love this whole thing that's coming up now. Also, that dragon is definitely blue. So maybe that is a new dragon. This is so cool. So we've seen that before.
ましょう。
which can be kind of useful, I guess, while you're learning to
も
aim.
う適当にこの辺ポーンってドドンね、非常に楽ですね。まあこういった形でですね、組み合わせ次第で狩りも非常に便利。
It just makes you think, what can you combine with the arrows and what can you do with them?
縦にキノコを
Like you can combine
これ
things
ね
with
意味あるのと思われる
with
かも
your
しれま
shield
せん
as
が、
well,
この
which
キノコは
makes me
実は
think
煙だけと言いまして、これでですね
back to those weapons we saw before with the shield that breathed fire.
で防ぎ
That was a
はい煙が出ま
combination
した
of something
手が
else.
リンクを見失っているうちに、
Um,
はい不意打ち。
and these also kind of remind me of Guardians
戦
as
いが
well.
苦手な人でもアイデア次第でこんな風に簡単にやっつけられるん
And
です
so
ね。
maybe as well that
前作では
club
強い武器が
that we
強い
saw
武器をやっ
before
つけ
that
ないと
shot
手に入り
fire
ま
or
せんでした
something.
が、
Maybe
今
that was
作
a
では弱い
combination
武器でも
weapon
何か
as
と組
well.
み合わせると使い勝手の良い武器に作り変えることができるってことなんですね。こういった
But I'm
武器は
excited to see what like fusions
見てみまし
people
ょうか。
can make, and the fusions don't seem to be
空島に
limited.
は川が流れてるとこもあるん
They
ですね。
don't seem to be limited
まあ
into
向こ
what
う
they
岸に
can
渡り
do,
たいんですけれ
because you
ども、
can maybe
泳いで
combine
渡る
three
には
or
ちょ
even
っ
four
と
things
川幅が
together.
広すぎるみたいです。なんでね、船が欲しいところなんですけれども、といっても周りにね、船らしきものはありません。なので、このですね、丸太を
And this is so creative as well.
持ち上げて、
Like I'm just so interested to see what creativity people are going to have
はい、
with all of these
もう一
different
個
things.
はこれも
Um,
持ってきて、バッとくっつけ
and like people were already doing this kind of thing in Breath of the Wild, like
これはウルトラ
making
ハン
their
ド
own
という新しい
makeshift
力です。
abilities and
くっついたんですけどね、
vehicles and stuff.
これいつでも
So now you can actually do that in the
ちょっ
game.
とこう形を変えてみ
I'm
ましょう
just
か。
so curious to see what people are going to make. Like they've really stepped
こん
up
な
the
風にいつでもくっ
creativity
つけたり外したりすることがで
that
き
you
るん
need
です
to
ね。
get around this place.
でこれを水に浮かべると、まあ木なんでね、浮力があって水に浮きますね。
Like you can
これで
literally do
簡易的な
whatever
船
you
に
want.
なりました。でもね、このままだとやっぱり進んではくれないので推進力欲しいですよね。ということで、何か
Which
あ
kind
り
of
ます
also
ね。
makes me wonder, I assume we're going to have like magnesis or similar things.
はい。何でしょうこれは。
And what's this
風ですね。
battery thing as well? I'm
風
guessing
を置き
that's
ます
how long it can
これね、私
last.
たち
So
扇
you're
風機と
not,
呼んでるアイテムなんですけど、
you don't have
これ
an
をですね、
unlimited travel
つけて
supply
み
with
ましょ
it. You can only travel a certain amount.
う。ね、これもう一個つけてみましょうかね。
Obviously, this thing is turned to a, this is turned into a hand now. So maybe that changes depending on what you're using.
Hi.
And the hand relates to the
じゃあ
abilities,
早速
I think.
動かしてみましょう。はい、進みました。風でね、スイスイ進みますね。製造機も2つつけたんで、あっという間に向こう
I'm
に
so excited for this. It's going to be so good.
はい、着きました。以前ね、お見せした映像の中にも大きい車だったりね、
Yeah,
空
so
飛ぶ
they've shown
乗り物に
this
リンが乗って
before.
るシーンがあったかと思
The
います  が
literally the
実
limits
は
of
ね、ああいった乗り物も最初
creativity
からあ
is
る
your
わ
own
けですね。
imagination.
プレイヤーが自由に作り出せるってことなんですね。ゲームの中で出会えるアイテムや素材も様々にあるんで、皆さんの発想次第で本当にいろんなことができるようになってます。ぜひいろんなものを作って、
No more
この
Korok
世界に冒険して
leaves.
みてください。
And it can fly on its own, which is
は
pretty
い、さら
cool.
にまだまだ新しい力があります。
I wonder how we'll
ここに
direct
建
it.
物がありますけどね、見ててくださいよ。よいしょ
This is something I'm really excited about as well.
よっと。はい。
Like, I
山の
think
通り
this
で
might be also one of the abilities that we use to get to the Sky Islands.
天井がある場所なら、
But they said they
どこでも
use
上の
it,
階層に
like, they've only shown it here on a low level.
突き抜け
Like,
ることができるんです。はい。
so I do wonder.
ちょっとね、ルールはあるんですけれども、
I wonder what the
可能な天井であれば
restrictions are gonna
どこで
be.
も使えるっていうのがね。
Because it says it so long as it's got a ceiling. But is like is there a height restriction?
上にまあ丘があります。ね。
What if you get caught in between the ceiling?
頑張れ頑張れ。よし。
So obviously there's some kind of time limit,
は
I
い、上
guess.
の丘に出てくることができました。前作だとね、山を登るにはえっちらほっちら自力で登ってましたけど、こういう洞窟がある山だったら登らなくても頂上まで行けますし、例えば牢屋みたいなとこ
And
ろ
all of them are marked on the map as well. The caves you can see here, they're kind of marked on the map.
そういうことなん
And I noticed someone else had noticed there was a little tick
また
by
あいつい
them
ま
once
す
you'd
ね
got everything. Which is
あ
kinda
なん
cool.
か変な武器持ってますね
And I love that these
敵も
little
ね
fellas can
物を
have
組み合
their
わせ
own
た武器を持って
weapons
いるこ
as
とがあ
well.
りますので
Which makes
バ
me
トル
think
も
they
普
can't
段
make
違う
their
の
own
に
weapons, but they can use fused weapons.
飛ばされましたねなんかこううちわみたいなの持ってるうわ危ない危ない危ない
But this is like an extension of the coral leaf, it seems.
ああ
And
落
you
とされちゃい
fall.
ましたねまあ仕方がないんでこのまま地上に戻りましょうか
Which that's going to be so annoying if you
こうやって
face
ね
an
空から
enemy
一気に
and then
ね
you
地上に
fall
降り
off.
ることができるんですね
Like that's going to be so annoying to me.
まあこうやって
Because
ね
like
空から
imagine you're
大地
battling on the
をこう
top
見
of
渡
the
せて
sky island,
まあこれが気になる
and
な
you
と
want
か
to
いろ
get
んな
back
ところの
down,
目的地を探す
or you
ことが
want
で
to
き
you
ます
actually want
の
to
で
stay on the island because there's something you want to
目的地を
explore,
探ったら
and then you get knocked off.
スピードアッ
I'm
プ
going
し
to be
て
fuming.
これ下川なんでね
I'm going to absolute fuming.
ドゥッポーンはい、地上に戻ってくることができましたねまだまだねあれもこれも紹介したいことが山ほどあるんですけど今日はこのぐらいにしておこうと思い
Oh,
ま
and
す
the symbols changed again. So this must be relating to each of the abilities then.
前作から一新されたリンクの新しい力をお見せしました私のプレーを見てあれができるならこんなこともできるのかもと想像された方もいらっしゃるかと思います今作はそういうプレイヤーの皆さんのできるかなが本当にできてしまうゲームなんです先ほどはお見せできなかった遊びや謎そして新たな出会いがたくさん詰まった未知なるハイラルをぜひ皆さんの自由な発想で冒険してみてください今回は以上となりますありがとうございました
Oh, yes. Amazing. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait. And this is beautiful. I freaked. Like, I was in public, but if I was at home, I'd be like, ah! Oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Look at this with the little greeny pattern and the white hair. Now I keep trying to tell myself I don't need another Switch. I don't need another Switch. I don't need another Switch. But look at it. Look at it. Look at that Zelda symbol on the dog. It's so beautiful. But I've already got my Switch. And I bought it recently as well. But this, I could see myself getting the Pro Controller. I do need a Pro Controller. So I do need the Pro Controller. So I kind of really want to get that.
Hello, everyone.
So I feel like I kind of noticed everything more or less that there was to notice.
皆さんこんにちはゼルダの伝説
But what was it?
シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です
Around here, I think,
まずは皆さんにお知らせがありま
as
す
Link was falling down.
ゼルダの伝説風でねスイスイ進みますね製造機も2つつけたんでであればどこでも使えるっていうのがねミソなんですね例えばここにね洞窟があって上に丘がありますねこういうところでこう使ってみるとですね頑張れ頑張れよし登れ登れ登れよっとはい上の丘に出てくることができました前作だとね山を登るにはえっちらほっちら自力で登ってましたけどこういう洞窟がある山だったら登らなくても頂上まで行けますし例えば牢屋みたいなところに閉じ込められてもね天井さえあればねわかりますよねはいそういうことなんですおまたあいついますねなんとか変な武器持ってますね敵もね物を組み合わせ
Is it just me that thinks these things are kind of cute as well?
違うものになってますお 飛ばされましたね。なんかこううちわみたいなの持ってる。うわ、危ない危ない危ない危ない。落とされちゃいましたね。まあ仕方がないんでこのまま地上に戻りましょうか。こうやってね、空から
Okay, so we're
一気に
returning
ね
to this
地上に
surface
降り
now.
ることがで
We've
きる
got
んです
another one of
ね。
these structures here that kind of
ですね。
these light things that looks like a
まあ
dragon.
こうやってね、空から
on the
私たちが
ground.
こう見渡せて、まあこれが
And there we see Death Mountain. We know something's up with Death Mountain, but I wonder what.
なるなとかいろんなところの目的地を探すことができますので、
We saw another one of the lightning clouds over in the top right.
スピードアップしてキューッと降りていって、
And this really reminisces me back to Skyward Sword.
はい、
So good.
地上に戻ってくることができました。ね、まだまだね、あれもこれも
Do you think we're going to be able to upgrade our stamina wheel as well? I hope so.
と思います。いかがでしたでしょうか。
So there we go. That is it. I'm so excited. I hope you're all excited as well. I'm really curious to know what you're going to think. And obviously we're going to be playing it on stream. And going to experience it all together. So I can't wait to be able to do that. And like, maybe we'll have wrapped up Pokemon Infinite Fusion by May. Maybe we won't. Because we've still got another region to explore. But we'll see how that goes. Because I'm really loving that. So maybe we'll play Breath of the Wild and Pokemon... no, not Breath of the Wild. Maybe we'll play Tears of the Kingdom and Infinite Fusion together. Or maybe I'll just focus on Tears of the Kingdom for a bit while I get that done. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes. But I'm really, really excited to kind of... I just want this game right now. I want to play it right now. But it'll be there soon. It'll be there soon. So, well, now I'm going to get into Little Mouse's Encyclopedia. I don't know how long it's going to take us. It might only take us like literally an hour to complete. So then we can play something else. Maybe I'll play some Pokemon Unite. Maybe we'll play some community games or whatever. And if any of you all are interested, maybe we'll play some Mario Kart. Maybe we'll play some not Scribblio. I forget what it's called. Gartic. Maybe we'll play some Gartic. Oh, so the mouse is the little feet. That's so cute. Right, so let's go around the burrow first. Okay, so I can use this to search. So the animal or plant will come to life when you click on it. Discover by dragging a big magnifying glass. A small magnifying glass will help you move around using arrows or by clicking on the screen. Close the table by clicking on it. Open the tables. Okay, so I move by clicking. Oh, we're upside down. Common earthworm. Okay, so its oral cavity is segment clitellum, and the anus, which is where it poops from. Clearly, the earthworm is afraid of fish hooks, chickens, birds, moles, and smaller birds. It feeds on soil, plant remains, and dead insects. It pulls the leaves into the soil and it grubs the soil, and it increases soil fertility. This is also true. Something else it does that they have not mentioned here is a process called aeration. which as it digs through the soil, it introduces little pockets of oxygen that plants will also need to grow as well. So that's a really cool thing. We need worms. Worms are important. So yeah, this is something it says it does, is it pulls organic matter like leaves, bark, different stuff like that, different plant material into the soil. So then that will then decompose, provide nutrients for the soil. The plants will then use that to grow. And so worms are very essential for soil. Especially as this thing is, that's what this is saying. Oh, I didn't realise. Hang on. Okay, what about this? White grub. The white grub is a larva of a cockchafer. It will evolve into... Okay. It's kind of unfortunate. So, the cockchafer is the accurate name. It turns into a maybug. This is the maybug larvae. Cockchafer is a rather unfortunate name, which will provide a lot of laughs. But it has these beautiful kind of eyebrows. Let me get a photo. I'll show you a photo of what it looks like. Maybug. So that was the larva. This is what the adult looks like. So you can see it's got these beautiful eyes, these beautiful kind of eyebrow eyelashes. Which are very, very distinctive. Yeah, you can kind of see it a lot closer here. So these are eyelashes that you can tell that's a maybug, and obviously they're called maybugs because they come out around the time of May time. You'll kind of see them, and they're very cool. I do like these bugs. So it bites off the rootlets of plants. The larvae spend the winter under the ground. Oh, I need to stop doing that. So can I go up this way? Rose chafer. They are good flyers. They feed on pollen, nectar, and ripe fruit. The larvae feed on decomposed leaves and dead plant rootlets. We can also find them in composts. Julis terrestris. Solid cuticle. Okay, so that's kind of a protective mechanism like an exoskeleton. Julis terrestris curls up when in danger. Segments of a body, head, antenna. It falls under fallen leaves and under stones. It feeds on plant remains. Okay, I kind of want to keep exploring underground first before we go on the surface. Because there's definitely some other things we need to explore. Oh, here I'm guessing these are dormice. Oh no, this is a common shrew. It eats as much as it weighs every day. So I'm glad it shows the skull as well, because you can kind of see what the teeth look like. You can kind of see it's got the little incisors at the front. And it's got the little molars here. It inhabits forests, parks, fields, and meadows. Young shrews often form a trailer behind their mother. And also, shrews are so fragile as well. Like, you need to have a shrew license if you're going to be handling them. Because if you pick one up, its heartbeat is so tiny. And it's so tiny itself. If you pick one up, and you're not very, very, very careful, it suddenly goes who are you? What are you doing? Why are you picking me up? Are you going to eat me? And his heart rate goes boom, and it kills it. And so yeah, you need to be really, really careful when picking these up. But they're such cute little fellas. Oh, I need to I need to stop doing that. So we've got some shrews hibernating over here. Were they both shrews? Just trying to show. Yeah, they're both shrews. Oh. And they don't weigh very much as well. They're tiny. Okay. What have we got here? European mole cricket. So, okay, it digs with these. These are legs. The European mole cricket can fly and swim. The male lures the female by loudly rubbing its wings together. The female likes to bite through roots of plants. Oh. I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it, I swear. So we've had a look at that. Oh. Try not to get annoyed with yourself challenge. European mole cricket sees the larvae. Up to 300 eggs. Nymphs hatch from the eggs. The nymph skins several times. After the final skinning, the mole cricket grows up to 6 centimeters. That's long. Oh, we've got a mole. Cone mole. Hind limbs, claws, nose, cylindrical body, digging legs, molehill, tunnels in the ground. Yeah, so this is a very accurate representation of kind of the tunneling system that they have, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the way they move through the ground is very interesting. That you'll see them, they actually go like this, and obviously they use these little bits here to kind of sense if something's in front of them. But they're not completely blind. People believe that moles are blind. They're not. They can kind of see. But so yeah, they're not completely blind. And they do eat worms, that is true. They do eat worms. It paralyzes the earthworms by biting into their nerve centers, saves them for the rainy day. Pointy teeth. Smell is the main sense of a mole. The mole is an insect eater. Very cool. Tadpole. So we all know the process of kind of a tadpole because it's talked a lot about in school. But I love these little fellas. So cute. Alright, don't click the cross. Don't click the cross. So we've got a newt here. And I'm guessing this one down here is a caddisfly. Smooth newt. Okay, there's the males grow a tall ridge in the period of reproduction. It lives in a deciduous forest or in meadows. Burrowed under the ground, it seeks the water for reproduction. So in the UK we have... Oh, I'm testing my knowledge now. Smooth newt, great crested newt, and palmate newt, I think. And so, great crested newt has a bigger crest on it than the smooth newt. Obviously, smooth newt has a much smoother skin to it. And palmate newt, I think, has a more a hand kind of similar to as it's kind of got. It's a bit more spread out. It's got the webbing between it. Yeah, they're very cool. And they also almost have like a inbuilt tracking system for where they're born. And again, smooth newts and palmate newts you don't need the license for in the UK. Great crested newts are an endangered species, so you do need a license to handle them. I need to do a bit more research on kind of what the populations are like now with great crested newt. And so this one I think is a caddisfly. Yes, it is, yeah. So what caddisfly will do is that some of them will make a casing or a shell out of material that they find in the water, so stones, sticks or twigs. And when I was at uni, we actually did a field trip in the first year down to Field Studies Council in Devon, where we did water quality surveying. And if you see a caddisfly while you're doing water quality surveying, is quids in, that water is extremely good quality. Like caddisflies are the indicators of pretty good water quality. If you see a caddisfly, you know that's good water. So no, I love caddisflies. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And it's really special to actually be able to see one. If you manage to go pond dipping and you do see a caddisfly, it's really, really special. Have I seen these? Tipula maxima. The larvae feeds on plant. It does not have a stinging system. Okay, so these are what people would call crane flies. The larvae feed on plants. It does not have a stinging system. Fishing bait and close up of Tipula's head. There. Wingspan up to 5 centimeters. So you'll probably have seen these before if you've been camping a lot, or like in the spring or summer. You kind of see these a lot. And I don't like them. But they are nature. But they give me the ick. These give me the ick, they do. Ooh, what's this? Brown centipede. The rear legs are longer, 15 pairs of legs, rear section of a body. It's tiny insects, antennae and mandibles. Lives under tree bark, under stones and in fallen leaves. Okay. Have I checked this one? Larvae of a click beetle. Okay. Larvae up to 40 millimeters long. Click beetle develops from the larvae. Garden pest, nibbles and bulbs and plants. When a click beetle is overturned on its back, it tightens its body and it springs into the air. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. What's this then? Oh, it's a Melancholia noctuid. Moth, black wings, white spot, flies at night. See, not all moths are nocturnal either. Some fly in the evening, some fly during the day actually. So people think all moths are nocturnal. They're not. And some butterflies are nocturnal. So you can't determine if it's a moth or a butterfly by whether it flies at night or day. Which diurnal, I'll type it in chat. Diurnal is the word for if something it moves during the day. Diurnal. Also, I haven't opened Mix It Up yet. So there we go. Now we're ready to go onto the surface. Okay, we've got a lot here. Azure damselfly, beautiful. I've seen these before. They're absolutely gorgeous. Wingspread of 45 millimeters. The female lays eggs on the stalk. Nymph, older nymph. So this is going through the life cycle of the dragonfly. So obviously the parent dragonfly lays the eggs on its grass, and some of them will kind of fold the eggs up inside the grass. They'll fold up the blade of grass so that the eggs are hidden from any predators. So then the nymph will then hatch and it will live in the water for a while, and grow and feed during its time in the water, and then it will climb up. I've not actually seen this, but it will climb up the grass, and then it will break out of its exoskeleton, and its wings will grow. Well, not grow, but its wings will unfold. And so that process kind of takes maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then it becomes a dragonfly or a damselfly, and will then live for maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks. And if it gets a lot of food, it will then go through this cycle again. So it says here it flies from May to September. That's its lifespan. Its lifespan is only about 3 to 4 weeks, usually, but there may be 2 or 3 generations within that time between May and September. Okay, we've got a few flowers here. What's this one? I reckon. Yeah. Oh, it's a marigold, I was going to say. I wasn't quite sure, but I thought it was. Yellow flower closer with fruit. Upper leaves are sessile. So sessile, I think, is kind of like stalkless. So there's an oak species that's sessile oak, and that means that the acorns don't have a stalk. So that means the upper leaves don't have a stalk and they're close to the stem. Grows near streams and ponds and requires a lot of water. It's slightly poisonous. So there you go. You know not to eat marsh marigold if you see it. Let's have a look at this blue flower. Forget-me-not. Blue flower, calyxon flower, sessile leaf again, close to the stalk. You can see hairy leaves. Grows on muddy banks in marshes and in wood-plain forests. Housefly. We're all very familiar with those, I'm sure. Oxeye daisy. Oh, oxeye daisies are beautiful. White flowers, petal. That's what the leaf looks like. It's funny they've included this. They've included the things that people know it for as well. Tooth leaves. Grows on meadows, hillsides, pastures, along roads and light forests. This, I think, is a pond skater. Oh, it's a water measurer. Okay. Lives on the borders of calm water. It is predaceous. The eyes are located in the middle of the length of its head. So that's usually how you'll know something is a predator. If its eyes are looking forward, like we have our eyes looking forward, that means we were predators. Whereas if their eyes are to the side, oftentimes they are prey, and they're a herbivorous species. Not always. There are exceptions. So this is interesting. This is how it feeds then. If something hits the surface, the water measurers feel when something hits the water, impales the insect with its sting, and then sucks it out. That's quite a creative way of hunting, which is quite cool. So what have we got here? This looks like a thistle. This is a ribwort plantain, I think. I don't know what this is. Harebell. Oh, it's a harebell. Okay. Flowers, it says leaves, stalked leaves at the bottom. Short root, protected plant. It grows on pastures, meadows, field boundaries, slopes, and forest edges. It's nice I showed a cross section of the flower. Okay, so that was a harebell. This is a bush cricket. Feeds on plants and small animals. The female lays eggs in the ground and the green colour masks her well. So, if this is not ribwort plantain, I'm going to kick myself. Yes! Called it. Yeah, so it says here, I was about to say it's a remedy for coughs. So a lot of plants have very medicinal properties. You kind of need to know which ones are medicinal to determine that. So don't just pick up a ribwort plantain and be like, this will treat my cough. But it is one of the plants that does have very medicinal properties. And it's a very common plant in the UK at least. I can show you what a ribwort plantain looks like in real life. But the art, that was actually a pretty good drawing of it. And it's an incredibly resilient species as well. So you'll sometimes see it even growing through gravel and pavement and stuff. So here it is. Ribwort plantain. So I feel like this is a thistle. I don't know which type of thistle. Oh, it's a knapweed, okay. Because like thistles sometimes grow that kind of flower with the pink on top, or like purple sometimes. But then you also do see knapweed with it as well. And cornflowers as well. Some cornflowers you see with that kind of thing. Broadleaf thyme, flowers are small and purple, leaves are of various shapes, the stems are creepy. Broadleaf thyme has a strong aromatic scent, it grows mostly on dry grassy slopes. Used to cure coughs, another one that's medical, has medical uses. Close above the flower, drying. Oh, bloody hell, I did it again. At least we know. Oh, I've not checked this one out yet. Have I? Oh, it won't let me. Okay. That's a white dead nettle. Oh! Okay. So this is Carthusian pink. The flowers burst in bloom, the leaves are arranged in pairs growing opposite each other. Common yarrow. Oh, I like yarrow. Yarrow is cool. Medicinal herb. So yeah, you can eat yarrow. I have eaten yarrow. You can often see it growing by roadsides, in parks. It does also look like wild carrot as well. And so it like, if it doesn't have the flower, you can't always determine. But if it does have the flower, it also looks like cow parsley and fool's parsley, which you can't eat. So you really need to know what it is you're eating. But I have eaten common yarrow before. Yarrow tea. I've not actually tried yarrow tea. That might be something quite nice to try. Now this is that large white. Or I think this is a small white. Okay, I'm gonna have a rant now. I'm gonna have a rant. Because this is inaccurate. This is inaccurate. Cabbage butterfly is not a thing. There is small white, there is large white, there is green veined white, and there is orange tip. All of them are white butterflies. But there is no cabbage white. So I'm gonna pick a fault with this game. Cabbage white is not a thing. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I need to show you. I need to show you. Right. Maybe there'll be something that shows. And maybe this is me being picky. Hi Lauren, hello. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope the kiddos are well. Hope work's been good. You've been back for almost an hour now, so I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Anyway, back to ranting. So plain creamy white. So this, hang on, what's this one? This is the green veined white. So you can see why it's called the green veined white, because it's got these very particular patterns here. So this is one of the white butterflies that we see in the UK. This is the orange tip. Now the male orange tip, it has an orange tip here, so it's very obvious to see. The female orange tip doesn't have the orange tip. Been back for about 20 minutes, just eating dinner now, so I'll be listening and learning lots about butterflies. Yeah, we're learning lots about butterflies because here in this game that I'm playing, they called this the cabbage butterfly. And so now I'm having a rant because cabbage butterfly is inaccurate and it's annoying me. So I'm educating the masses. So then we've got the orange tip that obviously has this beautiful marbled patterning underneath, and is Anthocharis cardamines, and this flower that it's on is the cuckoo flower, which is Cardamine pratensis, so it's the main food source of the orange tip butterfly. So this is the female in the photo, and the only way to determine the female from a small white or a green veined white is the markings underneath. So green veined white, orange tip, green veined white, orange tip. So then this is the large white, and you can kind of usually tell the large white because it'll have 2 dots on the forewing here, and it will also be the biggest of the whites. So yeah, it's the biggest of the whites, and you can also see it's got the very distinctive dark patterning on the forewing here as well. And then obviously you've got the small white. Sometimes it will have 1 dot, sometimes it will have 2. But it doesn't have as dark a patterning here, and it is smaller. So unless you see the small white and the large white side by side, you can't really tell them apart. But you can kind of look at the dark patterning on the top of the wings. And it takes a bit of time to get used to and a bit of time to practice and learn which are the different butterflies. But there we go, rant over. I'm annoyed at this game. But this is true, at least it does have scales like this. Which sometimes if you see a butterfly late into the season, it'll look very haggard. Some of the colour will be away from its body. And sometimes you might even see butterflies with missing parts of their wing where a bird is taking it. But yeah. Butterflies don't stay still for too long in person, so I can understand the confusion between large white and small white. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. And going back to this as well, unless it stays long enough for you to get a good glimpse of it, are you really going to be able to tell between these two? It takes a trained eye, and you need to be able to see the underwing as well to tell between the green-veined white and the female orange tip and the small white. Because the green-veined, the female orange tip, and the small white are all the same size as well. So you can't even always tell a small white from a green-veined white unless you see the patterning. And you can't always tell the green-veined from the orange tip. So the butterflies are not always kind enough to show you the underwing. But if they are, your quid's in. If they're not, you're just going to have to go, fuck it. I think it's a white. And it might not even be a white. It might be an orange tip. You don't really know. So that's why I get annoyed when people say cabbage white. And so I might not always point it out. But if I hear someone say cabbage white, you might see my face go. And I will just have to hold in the fact that I'm going to tell them that they're wrong for calling it cabbage white. This is another flower that I absolutely love. It's white dead nettle. And something my dad would used to do is he would suck the pollen from the flowers. Just point out something obvious. You can. Cabbages aren't even white. No, see, they're called cabbage whites because they eat cabbages. So that's where they get it from. But the name comes from cabbage white because of the fact that they eat cabbages. Not because they look like cabbages. But then the name in itself is a bit of a misnomer. Because the green-veined white might eat cabbages and the small white might and the large white might. But the orange tip doesn't. The orange tip doesn't eat cabbages. And so it's a red herring. It's a bit confusing because they're called cabbage whites, but not all of them eat cabbages, and they are very different species. Cabbage whites makes them seem like they are the same species, whereas actually they are 4 different species. It's confusing. And so when they were named, people thought, oh, these are all just one butterfly, but they're not. And a little more observation tells you that they're not the same butterfly. And this myth is still pervading our culture. And it's annoying. And I get really annoyed by it. But yeah, you will see white dead nettles among stinging nettles. And they're designed to look like nettles to protect the pollen from other things. But they are absolutely harmless. They will not sting you. But they look like they will sting you. But they're designed to keep away cats and dogs and mammals, small mammals who might eat them. Or like steal the pollen. Or like eat the flower. Now all of you are going to probably know this one. This is a dandelion. And so you'll all know a dandelion. I didn't know you could make honey from it. That's kind of cool. It is true they are medicinal. And they are a very common weed. But then I had a college tutor that said a weed is just a plant that's in the wrong place. So the idea of weed, and not the stuff you smoke. The idea of weed is just a plant that's in the wrong place. Like anything could be a weed. Anything and everything. So it's just a plant you don't want. And so a dandelion in a meadow is not a weed because it's something that's kind of meant to be there. But then a dandelion in your garden, you might think, oh, that's a weed, we don't want it. Or a dandelion in a flower bed, you don't want it, you want to encourage the other flowers to grow. That in the wild is perfectly valid. This is a white clover. And there is red clover and zigzag clover, as far as I know. I'm not aware of any other kind of the main clovers. And it's hard to tell red clover and zigzag clover apart because they both have the red flower. But you can obviously tell a white clover. And they are supposed to be lucky, if you believe in superstition like that. Oh, okay. Is this a buttercup? I think this might be a buttercup. Yeah, it's a buttercup. Which has, a lot of you will know because it has the pervasive myth that you hold it under your chin. And it turns your underside of your chin yellow if you like butter. It's not true. It doesn't. Well, at least not because you like butter. That's a complete superstition. It's amazing how much superstition is built around plants as well. Really fascinating. Oh, common daisy. White and pink flowers, it blooms even when it's freezing. Yeah, we all know daisies. And if you didn't make daisy chains at school, what did you do? And it seems we've explored the burrow. It seems that that's everything. So now it's time to go into the forest. Okay, so we've got pine cones, we've got mushrooms. Got a strawberry plant there. So let's see what this is first. Oh, it won't tell us. Cone. So it tells you the different types of cones here. It is a reproductive organ of plants. Squirrels and other animals are fond of its seeds. Also a really interesting kind of maybe useful or useless fact is you can tell if it was a squirrel can sometimes nibble it that way with the right hand, or will sometimes nibble it left, and you can sometimes tell with the patterning of how a pine cone has been nibbled whether the squirrel was left-handed or right-handed, which is really fascinating. Deadwood. Deadwood is absolutely wonderful in a forest environment. Not only does it provide a home for beetles, bugs, sometimes butterflies, ants, lots of different species. It does, as it says here, it delivers nutrients to the soil. It makes the place for fungi to grow and to harvest the material and the nutrients from the wood as well. So leaving dead wood in a forest environment allows nutrients to go back into the soil, provides habitat for so many different vertebrates and invertebrates. It's absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So yeah, if you have a forested environment, or you have like a tree covered area in your garden, leave some deadwood out. You know, it'll do a lot of good. Door beetle. Sacred scarab rolling a ball of dung, so it kind of does this thing. I've not heard of a door beetle before. Lives in forests and fields. It's commonly known as the dung beetle. Oh, okay, I know a dung beetle. At mating time, the beetles fly out and look for dung hills to dig up to 50 centimeters long tunnels. Very cool. We've got a strawberry plant. Wild strawberry, compound trifoliate leaves. Trifoliate means in 3, so 1, 2, 3. They are very nice. Mosses, yeah, very good at retaining water and soil structure as well. Mosses can be very good at keeping soil intact. Very important. Ah, look, we got some little ants. Redwood ant. Mandibles are used for defense as well as for transport of material. Feed on insects and honeydew produced by aphids. Social insect. The sun-dunted stinger at the rear end of the abdomen contains formic acid. Form colonies, and they communicate among themselves by means of olfaction. So olfaction is olfactory senses, so smell. Oh, bloody hell. I need to stop doing that. Maybe, am I getting wrong by what olfactory means? Olfactory just means smell, I think. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. And this is the anthill. The longer side is south oriented. Oh, okay, that's very interesting. It accommodates more than 1 million ants. Subterranean part is usually twice as big. Very cool. Is it going to tell us what this mushroom is? It is. Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is a fly actually. Yeah, olfactory is smell orientated. I thought it was. Interesting. It doesn't... This is a kid's game, so obviously it's not going to mention it. But fly agaric is a powerful hallucinogen. So it says it's poisonous. It does not mention that it is a hallucinogen. And so I actually... Goodness, I have a story of... We had a fungi guy come into our uni to talk about mushrooms. And he told us that this was a powerful hallucinogen. And then he went, has anyone actually tried it? And one of the girls actually said, yeah, I've had it. And it sent her tripping for days. So, there you go. It's a powerful hallucinogen. Don't eat it. Don't do that to yourself. Oh, this is an oak leaf. It falls off the tree with leaf ball shape, grows on the underside of oak leaves. Oak apple is a kind of gall made of plant tissue. It is home for gall wasp larvae. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. It's not related to oaks, it's related to figs. So you'll know the fig wasp. Fig wasps will actually climb inside the inside the figs and serve as nutrient food for the figs and kind of pollinating it as well. So figs people say figs are not truly vegan because an animal, a wasp dies to pollinate the fig and to provide nutrients using his body. And this is kind of what we're seeing here as well. So oak apple is a kind of gall made of plant tissues. It's home for gall wasp larvae. So here it says that the adult kind of bites its way out of the oak apple, and it kind of can be seen as a pest on oak trees as well. I didn't know that they could be used to make ink. That's very interesting. Oh, we've got a hedgehog here. Shrubby blackberry grows in light forest along fields and roads. It's a medicinal plant. It's vitamin C, that is true. Flowers are very fragrant, not vagrant. Leaves are slightly hairy. Hedgehog. European hedgehog. It likes rainworms, solitary creatures. 8,500 spines. Goodness. Also, as well, you need to be very careful around the winter time. If you're like around bonfire night on November 5th in the UK, we have bonfire night. And so you need to be very careful if you're doing bonfire night. If you have a pile of sticks and woods and things, hedgehogs will use them to hibernate, and then they're burned to a crisp when you light them on fire, which is very, very sad. So always check for hedgehogs on November 5th or whenever you do your bonfire night. But they're so cute. I love hedgehogs. And there's actually a really interesting study that I can't remember where it's from and I'd have to find, but hedgehogs have been found to evolve with longer legs because they're running faster, and the ones that are running faster are getting across the roads faster, which just makes you think how much human civilization is messing with nature. Pardon me. Is that hedgehogs are running faster. We need to make more hedgehog highways. We definitely do. Definitely. And so usually they'll use holes in fences to get past. And cats are one of the main predators of hedgehogs, unfortunately, as well. So if you do have cats, it's as a wildlife conservationist, a lot of them will say it's best to keep cats indoors so they're not going to hunt birds, they're not going to hunt hedgehogs. But yeah. Oh, bloody fuck. I need to stop doing that. This game was only supposed to take half an hour to complete. We've been playing it for an hour. And we're not even halfway done. Paris, there we go. I don't know much about that. I've been talking too much. Oh, hello, Mr. Fox. Red fox. Fox is a canid predatory mammal. It can run at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Omnivorous. Fox burrow is a form of habitation dug in the ground. I love foxes. Foxes are so cool. They have a very distinctive, lots of very different howls and calls. They are nocturnal. And it's very interesting to hear them. And so you can kind of hear a vixen is a female fox. Is very distinctive. Red foxes were my grandmother's favourite. So cute. They are cute, aren't they? We've got a male fern here. It's so fascinating as well to kind of see the ferns curled up like that. I love it. Adder. Okay. Adders are the UK's most... I'm trying to think. Venomous is when it's injected. The UK's most venomous snake. They will paralyze a human, and if the human doesn't go to hospital, that person could die, but it would take about a day, and you'd be kind of in agonizing pain. You can be treated by it, and you know it's harder to kill a human with an adder bite. You'll be paralyzed for maybe about a day, and you need to get to hospital. If you get bitten by an adder, you need to go to hospital. That's for sure. I've heard dogs that have passed away from being bitten by adders. And so you do need to be careful with them, but they are the most potent snake we have in the UK. So yeah, but they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, and they will only not poisonous, venomous. They will only attack if they are provoked. You know, if you're walking through a bush or something, and there's an adder, be very, very careful. But yeah, they'll only attack if provoked. Oh, Badger, Mr. Badger. Mellors. And fox is Vulpes. Black stripes, small ears. Badgers are incredibly intelligent as well. Let me see if I can show you a badger set. What a badger set looks like. Because they're really fascinating. I did see a badger's head footprints, but no badger. Oh, fascinating. They're very pretty. Very interesting as well. Badger. So the way to tell them apart from a fox den is... Okay, you can kind of see it better here. And badger sets usually do have a lot of protection around them as well. So usually I think maybe the legislation has changed, but I think there's a 50-meter radius. And if you go badger baiting, you know, or whatever, there's a lot of disturbance that can, you know, and so 50 meters around the badger set, and you know, if badger sets are discovered on a site, a lot of people will be very secretive about them so that people don't go badger baiting. And you know, some people do breed dogs for badger baiting. But you can see the perfectly kind of circular style of the badger set. That it's almost a perfect arch. Which is one key way of kind of noticing a badger set compared to a fox. Is that a fox den will not be a perfect arch as such. Badgers is. It is very, very interesting. It prevents the actual set from collapsing. So you can kind of see they've kind of shown it here, But here the badger is in the tree trunk. Cross spider. Very interesting. Let's go this way first. Okay, can I go up here? Okay, this looks like a death's head hawk moth. Oh, it's a pine hawk moth. Pine hawk moth lives in Scott Pines. Very interesting. Oh, we've got a squirrel. Red squirrel as well. Sadly, seeing less and less red squirrels because of squirrel pox from grey squirrels. They say pine martens are a good solution for that because pine martens will eat the heavier grey squirrels, not the lighter red squirrels. But then at this point, I think it's at the point where we're not going to see red squirrels again for ever. I think red squirrels are going to be extinct very soon, which is very sad, and they're not going to make a comeback. They're too low in number. Also, Scots pine needles are nitrogen fixing as well. They will introduce nitrogen into the soil, which is another way of helping things grow as well. Very, very cool. This is a nuthatch. Eurasian nuthatch. Brownsea Island to see red squirrels. I haven't been to Brownsea Island, no. I know you can also see them in Scotland as well, in some various remote parts of Scotland and Wales. But no, I haven't been to Brownsea Island. I would love to see a red squirrel one day. It would be really, really nice. So here I'm going to show you another thing as well, is that there are two birds that are very similar, nuthatch and tree creeper. And there's one very distinctive way to tell them apart. If it loads, come on. So you can see the nuthatch here is always looking down the tree. The tree creeper is always going up the tree. And so that's one way of always telling them apart, is if you see a bird go down the tree, it's a nuthatch. If you see a bird go up the tree, it's a tree creeper. And they're about the same size, but they have a very similar silhouette. But the nuthatch has obviously very different colours, and obviously has the black bar across its eyes. That I think kind of makes it look like a ninja, which I think is very cool. And so that it will also poke its beak into the bark. Both the tree creeper and the nuthatch will do that. Poke its beak into the bark. Let's go up here. We've got an owl. Tawny owl. Tawny owls again, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful birds. Absolutely fantastic. I love owls. Can you tell I love everything? What have we got here though? Acorn weevil. Strong spurs, white gorbit is herbivorous. Inhabits a forest with oak trees. Female egg bores a hole in acorn. She lays eggs inside. Little by little, the grubs eat the inside of the acorn. That's so cool. So cool. European honeybee. Apis mellifera. I could talk about bees for ages, but I won't. because we'll be on the stream for ages. I want to know why brownie leaders are named after different owls. I'll have to ask my friend who is a brownie and see if she knows, because she's a brownie leader. Okay, here we've got a gold crest as well, which is the UK's smallest bird. It weighs about the same as a 50p piece. And so if you've got a 50p, it weighs about the same as that. It's tiny. And I've actually held one in my hands before. I did bird ringing a while ago. I've held one of them in my hands. But they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And there's a slightly bigger bird as well called a firecrest, which has a bit of red mixed in with the yellow on the head, on the nape. This is the pine marten as well, that eats the grey squirrels. And they're easily confused with a stoat, but from what I remember, a stoat has a yellow bit on the tail here, and is a bit smaller. What's this bat as well? Brown long-eared bat. Also something I really want to get is a bat detector, because bat detectors work at different frequencies, because obviously bats, you can't hear them at, you can't hear them with a human ear, but with a bat detector you can kind of pick up their noises. And if you ever want to have a look, Bat Conservation UK is a great website for learning the different bat sounds. They have recordings of all of them. This is definitely an oyster mushroom or a bracket fungus or something. Tinder fungus. Okay, I was wrong. It is a wood decay fungus which causes wood to rot. It grows on dead wood. It was used to make hats in the past. Some of the bracket fungi are edible. Yeah, say it was a bracket fungi. I thought it was. There's some aphids there. Oh, mistletoe. Oh, this is a jay. This is a jay. It's a beautiful bird. It's part of the corvid family, so crows, magpies, rooks, and jackdaws are all the same family as the jay. But the jay is by far the most colourful. And what it does, it will also bury 5,000 acorns over the course of a few months. So it's responsible for a hell of a lot of afforestation, but it will also eat young birds as well. I think this is a cuckoo. Yes, it is. So it's named because of its calling as cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Oh, bloody hell. I need to stop doing this. So obviously that's mistletoe. And we're climbing a Scots pine at the moment. Oh. We've got a little rat friend here. Yellow-necked mouse. Okay. Oh, that's the chaffinch. The bird is a chaffinch. Nursery web spider. 4 petal eyes. So, chaffinch. This is a male chaffinch. The female chaffinch has a more greeny chest. So the male chaffinch has a red chest. So it's kind of a mating thing. But yeah, no, the female is very much duller colour Oh, bloody frick. I think we've nearly finished the forest anyway. And as I predicted, okay, when I researched how long it takes to play this game, it says you could complete it in half an hour. Right? We started stream at 8 my time. It's now 20 to 10. It's taken me 2 hours to get through half of the game. Oh, goodness. Oh, hello. I didn't know this was a little lift. How high up does it go? Oh! Common buzzard, Buteo buteo. Beautiful bird. It kind of sounds like a meow, meow sound when it's flying. I'll see if I can get the RSPB page up. And I don't think there's anything more to find in the forest. RSPB. So I can show you what it sounds like. There you go. It's kind of can you hear it? It's kind of like a meow sound, which is not quite like a cat, but it kind of sounds a little bit like a meow. So that's the buzzard. That is the buzzard, Buteo buteo. Anyway, I'm gonna end it there, and we'll do the next two. We'll do the pond and the garden next week, because apparently I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about this shit. Like, I was not expecting it to go that long. I thought we'd be half an hour and done, or like maybe an hour and done. We've been playing this for 2 hours. Which I guess means I can talk a lot. And I do apologise. Well, I don't apologise because it's all learning, and it's kind of fun as well for me to kind of recite all of the information. Of course, you love it when I talk. But yeah, so we're going to end up stream there. Let's go back here. And I'll see who we can raid. But yeah, no, this is really interesting, and I hope you all enjoyed it and learned something new as well. So let's see who's live. And as for when my next stream is going to be, my next stream is going to be on Thursday at 8 PM GMT. We're going to continue with Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and we've got Zap Molkuno to destroy. So you can come along and join for that if you'd like. That's Thursday. And if you want to join the Discord to keep up with what I do off stream, there is the best place to go. I think what we'll do is we'll raid Ellie Joy Panic, who's playing Terra Nil. And Terra Nil was a game that I was going to play, but I wasn't able to buy it. So I'll probably buy it and then play it next week, maybe, when we've completed this game. But yeah. Because Terra Nil is another one of these nature style games that I really want to play. And it came out today, actually. It literally came out today. So yeah, no, it's a game that I want to really play. And they do donate a portion of their profits of the game to nature conservation and to planting trees as well. And I think they're doing an initiative at the moment as well, where if you put trees in the chat, the follower tree mates in the chat, €500 of real trees, it says here. So like for every tree you put in the chat, I think they plant a real tree. So I think that's a really cool initiative. So it'd be really absolutely very cool if we could go and support that. And I'd very much appreciate that. But yeah. So raid and sub raid. If you are a sub, then copy the sub raid message. If you're not a sub, copy the non-sub raid message, or whichever one you like. Obviously the sub one won't work unless you are a sub. But yeah, go copy one of those. And I just wait for my ads to stop. But it was really nice to hang out with you all. I hope you enjoyed. And it was really nice to go into the Zelda game as well from earlier and kind of go over some of my hypotheses and theories. And it would be really nice to hear your thoughts on it as well, either in the Discord or you can reach out to me on my socials. It would be absolutely fantastic to hear what you thought about that. But yeah. So next week I'm gonna do a few streams as well. It'll depend on when my work schedule is and when I'm over at Lauren's, when my streams are gonna be. So I'll let you all know. And the Discord and the Twitter and the Instagram is the best place to know when my streams are gonna be. So yeah, that's the way to go. Oh my goodness, I have so many apps to go through. So we'll just wait around for them to finish. But yeah, the week after that, I'm probably not going to stream because I'll be over at my cousin's for their wedding. But yeah, so we'll be over at the cousin's for a wedding, which is the 8th and the 9th of April. And so I won't be streaming that week, I don't think. Or I might stream that week, it remains to be seen, but I will let you all know. Anyway, I'm going to start triggering the raid now. And please do go support Ellie, Joy, Panic, playing Terra Nil. Joy, Panic. And do go send some support over there. It'd be absolutely fantastic. Okay. Bye friends, take care. I'll see you around very, very soon.